What's up everybody, Bootman here, and today we're gonna be talking about Marvel Rivals characters that you think are good, but they actually kind of suck. Now, before we dive into it, before you all go crazy in my comment section, I just wanna get a couple things out of the way, all right? First off, I am well aware that in the right hands, literally every character in Marvel Rivals is good. I think the devs have done a great job and every character has potential to be very good. The problem is, which we'll discuss pretty soon, is that in the right hands they're good, but in the average population, these characters are bad, okay? So don't come in my comments saying, oh, well, you just don't know how to play the character, all right? I am talking about the average player. Yes, you will find people in One Above All who are making every bad character look good, so chill out with that. The second thing that I wanna address, and you people, feel free to leave if you would like, is we are not talking about the fun factor. Every time I make a video discussing topics where there might be people who wanna actually win, they're a little bit more competitive like myself, people are like, gosh, why can't you just let people have fun with the game? Hey, if you wanna have fun, we all wanna have fun. That's why we game. We like having fun. But for some of us, we like to have fun by winning. We're more competitive. We win, we have fun. That's kind of how it is. And I just wanna say, you don't gotta judge either side of the coin on that one. But when you come in here and say, God, just let people have fun, well, this video isn't for you, all right? So those are just a few things that I want to get out of the way real quick. So let's dive into which characters we're talking about, all right? So the first one is one of the most popular characters in the entire game, one of the most popular Marvel characters in the world, and that's Spider-Man. And how many of you need to simply stop playing him? Listen, when I found out Spider-Man was gonna get into the game back before the alpha, when we first got the trailer, I cannot tell you how excited I was. Spider-Man has been my favorite superhero since I was a child. I have a Spider-Man tattoo sleeve that I've been working on for a couple of years now. The bottom half's done. If I can, I'll put some pictures up on the screen. What I'm getting at is I love Spider-Man. I want Spider-Man to be good. But in the hands of most people, Spider-Man is bad. And if you want further evidence of this, the top Spider-Man player, arguably the top Spider-Man player in the world, Necros, regularly says when he makes his tier list that Spider-Man is bad, okay? So if the top Spider-Man player in the world says that Spider-Man isn't all that good, you might wanna listen to him. So Spider-Man he doesn't do that much damage, okay? Spider-Man mainly just comes in and out of fights, okay? He's kind of just an annoying bug. Not quite a spider, but kind of like a fly, just an annoying fly when you're trying to have a nice little picnic. And mainly what you'll see from a majority of Spider-Man players is that they never get any kills until their ultimate ability is up. Most Spider-Men just zip in and out, do a couple shots, and they just kind of take your focus off the fight for just a couple seconds. But for the most part, you just don't have to worry about him. I get it, and listen, I respect it. There are a lot of people out there practicing Spider-Man. They've been getting Spider-Man to Lord, but it is very rare. You cannot tell me that you don't just let out a big ol' ugh, when you join a competitive ranked match and you get somebody insta-locking Spider-Man, even if they're Lord. Spider-Man is probably the one hero where I see so many people have that Lord icon for Spider-Man and they are still just very bad with him, all right? So listen, I think a lot of what this video boils down to is self-awareness and acceptance, okay? I had to become self-aware that I was not gonna get amazing with Spider-Man and it just wasn't happening, so I just took him out of my hero pool early on. So, check your stats. If you're not doing good with Spider-Man, just get him out of your list, all right? The next one is Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch actually doesn't have a super high play rate, but there are people who are dead set on playing Scarlet Witch. And I remember in the alpha, I think it was the alpha and the beta, Scarlet Witch was pretty decent, but she got hit with some nerfs. But especially since global launch, when just the player base just exploded, we have hundreds of thousands, if not millions more people than were in the closed alpha and the closed beta. But people know how to counter Scarlet Witch now. I think with the right buffs, Scarlet Witch might be good. Scarlet Witch's main utility right now is just having an amazing team up with Magneto, even though they've nerfed that I think twice now. That team up is just still awesome. But for the most part, Scarlet Witch just isn't that great. And yes, again, in the right hands, Scarlet Witch can be very good. She basically has auto aim and unlimited ammo. Her darts do like a decent amount of damage, but ultimate abilities kind of run the game in Marvel Rivals, and Scarlet Witch's is just way too easy to counter. You can oftentimes shoot her before her ult goes off, and you might say, well, Magneto can put his bubble on her. Yeah, that's true, but all you have to do is get behind the smallest pillar in the world, and Scarlet Witch's ultimate does not hit you. So I wish Scarlet Witch was better than she is, but she's just not. Next hero on the list that you need to stop playing is Black Widow. So something happened within the last few weeks, maybe the last month, but a few really good Black Widow players, like they kind of started getting a little bit of a spotlight. We've seen just some insane Black Widow characters. We've seen people with Lord icons on Black Widow, and they just go off. But the issue, like we've been talking about, is the majority of people are just terrible with Black Widow. Black Widow could be really good, but there are just other heroes in the game that do the same thing that she does, but better. You know what I mean? Like, when we're talking about, you know, trying to win and being competitive in Marvel Rivals, you always have to think about best in slot, okay? Is Black Widow, for what her role is, just, you know, sniping, getting some distance, and doing a ton of damage, is she best in slot for that position? And the answer is no. Okay? You can get somebody like Hela, who does an insane amount of damage, can snipe people, even though it doesn't zoom in, but if you have decent aim, you're fine. But Hela also has mobility, she has a crazy ultimate, like she can get in and out of fights, so she has like survivability. Black Widow has some, and hey, don't get me wrong, I have a buddy who plays Black Widow, and like, it is insane what this dude can do with Black Widow. And like people will dive him as Black Widow, and he goes off. But for the majority of players, I would not say, yeah, you should be playing Black Widow. You should probably remove her from your list until she gets some buffs. All right, number 4, next up, and this is where you guys are gonna freak out in the comment section. Jeff the Land Shark. Listen up, everybody. And I need to go on a little rant real quick. I love stats. I love statistics. I love data. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And time again, month after month, season after season, Jeff the Baby Land Shark is consistently at the bottom, not just for strategists, but for overall heroes. He is consistently at the bottom for win rates, and there's a variety of reasons, okay? One of them is his ultimate is more of a meme, okay? To throw people off the map. I can't tell you how many times where I just make fun of people in chat. I do it in a nice way to try not to get reported, but I cannot tell you how many games I'm in where a Jeff on the opposing team swallows everybody up and they lose because they're not touching the point anymore. Like, it is a meme ability. Jeff's heals, the output range isn't all that great. Now, there is a new trend going on where people are picking Jeff in the triple support comp and using Jeff more as like a flanking DPS, which yes, it can be good in the right hands, but again, for the majority of people, he is not good. But the rant I was gonna go on is, I cannot stand you people who say, well, win rates don't mean anything, they don't mean everything, right? Like, listen, if you wanted to, you can just do mental backflips for data all you want, right? So this is where confirmation bias comes into play, and it is just a real shame how the human mind works, all right? So let me give you an example. If a hero you like has a super high win rate, you say, oh, look, I told you, look at this win rate. My hero, he's amazing, right? But if your favorite hero has a bad win rate, you say, oh, well, the win rate doesn't show everything, right? Like, do you see how your mind will make justifications just to support what you already believe? That is something we call confirmation bias. If you can't trust data, what can you trust? What do we go off of? Subjective opinions? Like, one of the regular arguments that I get, like when I do tier list videos or I do videos discussing the data, is, hey, your data doesn't matter because these top players, they're the best of the best, so they know what they're talking about more than the data. And I need you to understand how absolutely ridiculous that sounds. Like, That is what we call the appeal to authority fallacy, okay? So let's use the NFL for example, all right? Let's say somebody on the Super Bowl winning team, who won? The Eagles, okay? Let's say just one of the all-star players, and they said, you know what? We're not the best team. This team that actually didn't even make it to the playoffs, they're the best team. Like, could you imagine just being like, well, you know, they won the Super Bowl, so they must be right. No, the data is the truth. That is as close to the truth that we get. Now, does data tell you the full story? No. Is data always 100% accurate? No. But data is millions and millions of times better than any kind of subjective opinion. So anyways, circling back, sorry for that rant, Jeff the Baby Landshark is consistently at the bottom time and time again. If you wanna win, you need to get better with other characters, okay? Play other strategists. If you want a DPS, play a DPS, all right? Jeff is not the person to pick, okay? The last character, I saved them for last because it just absolutely breaks my heart. And that is Cloak and Dagger, okay? You need to understand how sad this makes me. Cloak and Dagger was the first hero or heroes that I got to Lord. I was obsessed with them when they released. They're so fun, they're so versatile. I think they're one of the first heroes I actually made a guide on, one of the first videos I got a ton of views for Marvel Rivals on my YouTube channel. And they recently got hit with nerfs. Now listen, I would love to hear from you guys in comments. This is one that I'm willing to debate about because frankly, it doesn't make sense to me, okay? Cloak and Dagger got hit with a nerf, but mainly just to their ultimate ability, and the rest of their kit is still very good in my opinion. But again, I'm a stats guy, and the stats just don't show that they're very good. Ever since the recent patch, they have just been at the bottom. So what you're looking at the screen right now is the current stats. And check it out, there are over 767,000 games. That is a lot of data to collect, okay? If we go by pick rate, Cloak and Dagger is still #1, but win rate overall, they're sitting at 47.56%. Luna Snow's another one I'm confused about, but they have a decently high ban rate, so you know that's something to take into consideration. But going back to Cloak and Dagger, so this is the overall stats. Now, if I filter, I like to start with just like at least platinum, but if we filter to platinum, they're still sitting at 47. We go to diamond, still third to last. We go to Grandmaster, they're second to last. So another thing that people say, right, is that, oh, well, you know, in the right hands, they're amazing. But as you can see, the higher we go up in the ranks, Cloak and Dagger are still sitting at the bottom. And I'm really curious too how these websites do their tier list. Like Cloak and Dagger is sitting at S tier, which doesn't really make sense because they're doing so poorly. Okay, so Grandmaster, Celestial, they're at the very bottom, okay? And that's with 57,000 games being played. We go to Eternity, they're at the bottom once again, and that's 4,000 games that we have tracked. And then one above all, a lot less data, but at the bottom. Again, I think Cloak and Dagger is pretty good, but like, I just bought their new skin. I love the new skin, okay? The little swagger with it, but like, I don't know. The data is something that we have to take into consideration. Why are people losing so much with Cloak and Dagger? Whereas, you know, like Adam Warlock, Mantis, and Loki, they sit pretty high on the list consistently throughout. Like if we go through all the other ones, Rocket Raccoon, I made a whole video about him. But yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts down below of your theories why Cloak and Dagger is down here so much. Like, is it their ultimate? Are they this bad? Like what's going on? Because their ult got nerfed, it doesn't stack like it used to. So a slight nerf, but like overall, they're still pretty good. They put out a decent amount of healing. So I'd love to hear from you. But anyways, those are some heroes I wanted to discuss. I'm tired of joining games where people are picking these heroes and just constantly losing. So for those of you who are competitive, I hope some of this sunk in. I hope I give some solid reasoning for why these heroes are not as good as some people might think, all right? But I would love to hear from all of you down in the comments below, so let me know. And that's all I got for this video. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell. I got a bunch of Marvel Rivals content coming for you, all right? Anyways, other than that, have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.